If you're hosting for the Super Bowl, these are my top 5 appetizers I make every single time just because they're total winners. We are making this Oreo football dip. You have to start with dessert first, let's be honest. So I'm adding in my 8 ounces of softened cream cheese into this bowl. I used to mess up like whipping cream cheese and butter together. So you're going to want to whip your softened cream cheese and your 1/2 cup of butter until it's like smooth. And here's the part that I actually used to mess up all of the time. I used to add my powdered sugar in like when I'd add the cream cheese and the butter in, but it will make it clumpy. So just whip these 2 ingredients around until they're combined and smooth. Now that it looks like this, you're going to add in about 1 cup of your powdered sugar, mix it super duper well, and then you are going to add in your 2nd cup of powdered sugar. Grab a spatula, scrape the edges down because you don't want to miss any powdered sugar that's on the edges. I love powdered sugar. When I was a kid, I used to sneak into our cabinet and eat like handfuls of it. Now that this is silky and smooth like this, I am going to set it to the side. I'm getting started on my Oreos now. I have my basic Oreo cookies. You don't have to do this with Oreos also. You could do it with like chocolate chip cookies. You could do it really with any type of like crunchy cookie you like. So add about 15 Oreos into a bag or a food processor. Either one will do. And then you are going to want to crush these Oreos up. Now I'm going to grab the cream cheese mixture again, and then I am going to add our crushed up Oreos right in here. Whoops. We are making actual food today, not just desserts. This is actually the only dessert or like kind of treat that we're making. We're making some other delicious recipes here in a moment. Whenever I make this Oreo dip, it is always gone first. Whenever I make it to like family gatherings, parties, get-togethers, I swear it is always like one of the first things gone. But now we're going to shape it into a football. So I just added it to a sheet of some plastic wrap. And now I am just going to kind of roll the plastic wrap up like this and kind of shape it into a football. Kind of like bring the ends in so it doesn't fall out. There you go. There is your football. This is going to sit in the refrigerator for at least an hour to set up so that cream cheese sets up. Now that this has been in the fridge for about an hour, I'm just going to take it out of its wrap. As you can see, it's basically like a football shape. And I'm putting it on my cutting board. I'm kind of making like a dessert snack board out of this. I have mini semi-sweet chocolate chips right here. I'm going to kind of press the chocolate chips into the dip, and it's going to make like a super pretty football looking like shell on the outside. Now that I'm through coating my football with chocolate chips, I just added some vanilla frosting into a Ziploc bag. I don't have like fancy piping bags or anything, so a Ziploc bag will be perfectly fine. Cut a little hole in it, and now I'm just going to make like the football lines. So I'll do a line down the middle, and then some smaller lines on the side. And the goal is to make it look like a cute football. It actually is looking so cute right now. Oh my goodness. There you go. To dip this in, I really like pretzels. Also, my kids have been on like a Nilla wafer kick recently, so I have a bunch of wafers in my house. Completely random, but I found these at Walmart. They're sugar cookies, and they are the shape of a football. That'll just go on the tray and make it look absolutely beautiful. Of course, you could dip the football in the dip. Oh man, I can't wait to try this. The texture is like almost like ice cream. Doesn't that look beautiful? I'm trying it with a pretzel. Oh, that is good. It's the perfect amount of like cream cheese to Oreos. It is amazing. The chocolate chips on top add like a subtle crunch. If you're wanting like a sweet treat for game day, this one will be a winner. Now we're making these mini tacos. I basically like to call them like shortcut tacos. I actually started making them when I was in high school with my friends Michaela and Michelle. We would come home from school, we would have like a can of refried beans and cheese and like tortilla chips. We would actually like microwave them. So yummy, such an easy, like cheap snack. What we're doing is just laying some like circular tortillas onto a sheet pan. I definitely recommend you using like the circle ones, just because they're easier to fold in the end and they're like a lot more realistic, like taco-like in the end. Now over the top of the tortillas, just add a little scoop of refried beans. I am just using the Great Value refried beans. Just add a little scoop of the refried beans onto each tortilla chip. After they're baked in the oven, the chips get like a little bit soft. They're not soggy, so don't think they're soggy. They just get a little softer. So then you're able to fold them in half, and then you have like miniature tacos. Over the top of the refried beans, you wanna add like some type of taco meat if you wanna add taco meat. Like I was saying, in high school, my friends and I used to make this, and we used to just do it with like beans and cheese, because that's what we had on hand. But I'm doing this like beef barbacoa. It smells really good. I've honestly never used it for this recipe before. Typically, I've done like ground beef in the past, like cooked ground beef, but this is like fully cooked barbacoa. And when you're trying to make a bunch of appetizers for people on like game day, this is such a great shortcut. So definitely recommend like pre-cooked chickens, pre-cooked meats, just to save you a bunch of time. And hey, your guests are not even gonna know. It'll be just our little secret. Now over the top, you can't forget the cheese. So I'm just going to add a little bit of cheese over each one. This is going to help like hold the tacos together once they're out of the oven. So sprinkle the top with cheese. This will bake in a preheated oven to like 375 degrees for about 8 minutes. You basically want that cheese melty. You want everything like sizzly and melty. Now that they're out of the oven, all you have to do is like turn them over like this into little tacos. These are so easy to throw together and significantly better than those like frozen tacos, you know, that you could buy at the store. These are delicious. Top them with your favorite toppings. Easy, like grab and go, one bite. Here's what our mini taco bites are looking like. I topped mine with some cilantro, a little bit of taco sauce, and some sliced green onions. I don't typically watch football. I typically show up for football for the food, and this recipe will be gone in minutes. It's delicious, easy to throw together, crowd pleaser, and you have to have like something taco related at every like Super Bowl party or any party in general. This one is a total winner. Comes together in moments. So, so good. Perfect little bite-sized snack. Now we're making this beautiful jalapeno popper dip, and this one will save you so much time because it is a dip and you don't have to mess with like stuffing jalapenos, wrapping them up. This one is a game changer and I'm sure you're going to love it. But to a bowl, add in 1 cup of sour cream, 8 ounces of softened cream cheese, and then add in about a half a teaspoon of some garlic powder. Just throw it right into your bowl. And then you are going to mix these ingredients together until that cream cheese is smooth. Now that that's mixed together well, I'm adding in 4 ounces of drained jalapenos. I'm just using the canned jalapenos to make my life easier because I don't want to dice up a jalapeno. Next, I'm adding in 2.5 ounces of bacon bits. Now I added in a half a cup of shredded cheddar cheese, 3/4 cup of Parmesan cheese, and give this a mix. This smells like an actual jalapeno popper. You have your jalapenos. It is like cheesy, the bacon. It's not even baked yet and this already smells fantastic. Now we are making like a crumb mixture for on top. It is 1 cup of panko breadcrumbs, 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese, and then add in about 1/4 cup of melted butter. Don't feel like you're gonna mess this recipe up. It is very forgiving. You throw the ingredients into a baking dish and you basically go, and it is like the most beautiful dip. Everybody at your house is going to be asking you for the recipe, and It's seriously the easiest thing ever. So just mix these ingredients together super well. Now pull out an 8x8 baking dish. Spray your baking dish with a little bit of nonstick spray, then add that gorgeous cheesy bacon mixture we just made up right into your baking dish. Oh, this one is a good one. I could eat like spoonfuls of it. It is so good with tortilla chips. You could do it with like crackers. You could dip veggies in this. So, so delicious. And it is just a million times easier to throw together than like singular jalapeno poppers. Jalapeno poppers, you have to wrap them in bacon, take the seeds out of them. It is just like an ordeal to make jalapeno poppers. So this is a game changer. Sprinkle that panko mixture over the top. This will bake in a preheated oven for about 15 to 20 minutes on 375 degrees. Oh, look at how beautiful and golden brown it is on the top. That is how you know it's ready to serve. To top our dip with, I'm just doing it with some simple sliced onions, a little bit more bacon bits to make it look, you know, fancy, like we spent hours trying to make this. And a little bit of some parsley. There you go. Our dip is done, but wait, I have something else in mind. Now this is my type of touchdown. This is the ultimate chip and dip platter. We have our jalapeno popper dip just right in the center. It fits perfectly. And then I have these like little football crackers all around it. I have 4 types of dips, spinach jalapeno, ranch, and then 2 types of queso. Place your chips all around. You could do like veggies. This is like the coolest thing. I actually found it on Amazon and I'm just really impressed with it. It is like perfect for the big game. I love quick, easy stuff like this that makes you feel a little bit more festive, but on a budget and easy to throw together. I'm so excited for my friends to see this platter tonight. It honestly is absolutely beautiful. I do have to take a little bite first, just, you know, to make sure it's good enough for my friends. Whoa, that's good. Okay, that dip is phenomenal. It has a little heat from like the jalapenos in it. The bacon is so good. It tastes like you're eating like a literal jalapeno popper. I don't have any better way to describe it. You have to try this out. It is absolutely delicious. Holy smokes. I'll just have another little bite. Nobody will notice. Game day and sliders go hand in hand. So now we are making my favorite hamburger sliders. So to a pan on the stove, add in 1 onion. You want to dice that onion. Also add in 1 pound of ground beef. Just break the ground beef up and cook it through at this point. Now that my ground beef is cooked through, I am just going to stir in my mayonnaise, add in a tablespoon of that, and then go ahead and add in about 2 tablespoons of ketchup. We like ketchup, so I added in more like 3 tablespoons of that. And then you're going to add in your dill relish. You could add in a tablespoon, but if you're a massive dill relish fan like me, add in more like 1/4 cup. And then go ahead and add in your tablespoon of yellow mustard. Give this a stir. This recipe is also on page 240 in my new cookbook. So this is my cookbook called Make It Simple, and it's also in like the sliders section. So I have a whole section in my Make It Simple cookbook dedicated to sliders. So anyway, give this a stir. Once everything is mixed super well, just go bring it over to your countertop. Now to assemble our hamburger sliders, I'm just using Hawaiian rolls. Hawaiian rolls are so good with these sliders. You could of course use like any dinner rolls, anything like that, but just take your Hawaiian rolls out and then you are going to slice them in half. So here's what it looks like. So on the bottom half of the rolls, I'm going to add slices of cheddar cheese, or you could do like American cheese, you know, the classic American cheese. You could really do any cheese. If you're not a cheese fan, don't add the cheese. This is like one of my favorite ways to make hamburgers just because they're cooked to perfection. They're so good. Everybody loves them. They're total winners, and you don't have to stand over like a barbecue grill. You don't have to worry about them getting burnt. They're super delicious, handheld, basically like a no-fail recipe. Now add that hamburger mixture right in there. If you've ever been to In-N-Out, this mixture smells like an In-N-Out hamburger. That's the best way I could describe it to you, just because it smells like that like special sauce. And then the onions kind of get caramelized cooking with the ground beef like that. So just all my favorite flavors mixed together. Now over the top of the ground beef, I'm going to add some slices of more cheese. Bam. Now I have about 2 tablespoons of butter right here, and into the butter I'm going to add some sesame seeds. This is mainly just for looks. Grab my trusty baby spoon, pour this over the top, and then this is going to bake in your oven. This part is basically for show to make it look pretty, so you don't have to do that if you don't want to. This will bake in a preheated oven to about 400 degrees for about 5 to 8 minutes. Oh, look at that cheese. That looks like perfection. Once your sliders slightly cool down, just slice them up and then put them on a tray, and then they are going to be gone within 3 minutes. Oh, just look at that. Smells delicious. The top kind of gets like a little bit crispy. I already know these are going to be a hit tonight at the game. I wish you were here to try them with me. Absolutely delicious. The caramelized onions, amazing. I just can't believe how quick and easy this is to throw together. Delicious, perfect on those Hawaiian rolls. Think of potato skins, but a whole lot easier and round. We're making potato rounds. This is like the only way I like to make potato skins. So I have about 5 potatoes right here. I'm going to slice them into kind of like rounds. I did soften my potatoes for a little bit in the microwave. We're not complicating anything today. And now I'm slicing them into smaller pieces, just like this. Now that we have all of our potato skin rounds cut, I'm just spraying my sheet pan with nonstick spray. I'm using parchment paper for easy cleanup in the end. Add all of your rounds down. Now that I have them down, just sprinkle with a little bit of salt, because you want salted potatoes. Also sprinkle with a dash of pepper. Now add your cheese onto each one. I like to go heavy on the cheese. Hosting definitely does not need to be stressful, especially with these like potato skins like this. I know at like a lot of get-togethers, people do regular potato skins, but with these modified potato skins, they're just a breeze. Now I'm adding my bacon bits on. Now I'm adding some green onions over the top. Then this will bake in my preheated oven to 375 degrees for about 8 to 10 minutes. Since the potatoes are already softened, they really don't need to be in there long, just enough to melt the cheese. Oh, those are good. These are cheesy perfection, comfort food to the max. It's a total winner. You'll have to try them. I cannot wait to try this. I'm going to dip it in a little bit of sour cream. Well, that beats normal potato skins any day. The like potato in the middle is fluffy and soft. The cheese is like melty. The bacon, the green onions on top. This is amazing. Totally beats like a normal potato skin any day of the week. You have to try these like rounds. They're amazing. I hope you found a winning recipe that you'll love. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next video like this. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.